Thank you for choosing the SNL Fan Podcast, and I'm your host, just some guy named Jay, like I've always been. And in this installment of the SNL Fan Podcast, basically what I'm doing is reviewing the Jonah Hill episode of SNL that aired last Saturday, January 25th. But before I even review the episode, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Vibes Live Radio. Vibes Live is a 24-hour live stream that has lots of different content, lots of different segments on it, and it streams 24 hours a day. They always have something new, something great on there, so check it out. I'm going to put the link in the information box below, or you can go to www.vibeslive.com and definitely check it out. And, a lot of the segments are also hosted by Robin Lynn, who is also the program director of Vibes Live, and I'll be interviewing Robin Lynn very soon. I was originally supposed to have an interview with her last week, but we had some technical problems. But we got that over with now, and I'm definitely going to have her on as a guest. She's going to be a guest here on the SNL Fan Podcast as well. We're going to talk about her, some of her favorite Saturday Night Live sketches and cast members and things like that. And I'm also going to have her as a guest on the session as well. So definitely check out what Robin Lynn has to say. I'm still used to saying Vibes Live. So definitely check that out. Again, Vibes Live. All right, now let's get into this review. Okay, let's starting off with the U.S. Men's Heterosexual Figure Skating Championship skit. It was pretty funny. I liked it. Definitely a good change. You get tired of seeing those political cold openings all the time. This was pretty funny, especially Beck Bennett. He was pretty funny in it. Bobby Moynihan did his thing. So did Jay Pharoah. It was pretty a lot of physical humor. Them skating and trying to. Because I guess the stereotype, only gay guys, would participate in a sport like this. So they have straight guys trying to do it, and they not really good at skating. So and they showed that it was pretty cool. It didn't drag on too long. Beck Bennett was pretty much in my opinion, one of the stars of that particular skit. Let's see, the monologue, that was pretty funny. It was pretty, you know what, the thing that really surprised me, they usually do those, back in the 90s, they did it a lot, those Q&A kind of monologues, like, hey, excuse me, a little hiccup, they come out, the host comes out and says, hey, anybody got any questions, about my movie coming out, and then, they have writers and cast members, pretty much ask a bunch of questions, and, the host answers them, things like that. They put a little spin on it this time. And, and what really surprised me, though, was Leonardo DiCaprio actually showing up. Now, I know, I guess a lot of people, you kind of, I guess you at home, you were like, I know where they're going with this because they keep saying a lot of things about Leonardo DiCaprio. So I know he's going to do a sneaker upper, or he's going to, come in and show his face. But you know what? I never thought Leonardo DiCaprio would actually come out and do SNL, come out and do a guest spot. Because this doesn't seem like something he would do. Like, he seems like one of those guys. Like, he seems like who else? Like those actors who just straight up actors. Like, they would not participate in little things like this. Like a Johnny Depp, like if Johnny Depp came, I know he wouldn't have, because, he didn't do a movie with Jonah Hill like Leonardo DiCaprio did. But, like, they strike me as those people who just wouldn't do this, So it was fun seeing him. I would like to actually see him host, too. I mean, now that he actually done a cameo appearance, I'm thinking it's possible that he may host. But you know what? I don't know. Maybe that's one of those things he just may not do. But it was pretty cool. Good to see John Milhiser, because I think, aside from the Good Neighbors, John Milhiser, he's definitely a keeper in my opinion. Moving right along, the Jonah Hill's recurring character, that Adam Grossman, the little boy that he's like, I don't know, he seems like one of those old Jewish comedians or something like that. Yeah, I think the character is actually based on like an old comedian or something, and it's like he's supposed to be like a 6-year-old boy or 7-year-old, whatever he is, and everything he says is like some little quick little one-line Catskill comedian kind of punchline. It's pretty cool. This one was actually the better one of the ones I've seen. because I don't know. They're okay, but they're okay. That's the good and bad with those kind of sketches. It's not bad, but it's not something I want to keep seeing all the time either. But this one's pretty cool. Even Vanessa kind of played her role in it pretty good. Vanessa's been doing a lot better than she normally has. I don't know. I don't know. maybe she listened to the podcast too, because I'm surprised at some of the people who actually do listen. So maybe she heard it and said, you know what, I'm gonna step my game up. Not just for me, but I mean I wasn't the only one saying this, so But yeah, Sasheer Zamata was in it for no reason. Not for no reason. She was in it, but I believe they're gonna really try to shoehorn and wedge Sasheer Zamata in as many sketches as they can. She's just gonna play anything. Like they need somebody to stand there and open the door. Okay, Sasheer Zamata, you play that part. They're just gonna just insert her, cut and paste her in every little skit. I bet you that's gonna actually happen. But yeah, this one was actually pretty good. No complaints. That skit where Taran, J. Pharoah, and Kenan Thompson they were gonna they were placing a hit or something like that. They're gonna shoot up the place, and I guess when somebody comes out, they were gonna shoot them. And they kept talking about the snow, and they were supposed to be these hard gangster kind of guys, and they were like, you know what, man, I like to just sip some hot cocoa barefoot by the woods, by the campfire, and just sip it and think happy thoughts. I was like, Jay Farrell was like, come on, man, y'all need to focus. What are you talking about, man? We're supposed to go out here and smoke these fools or whatever. That was pretty funny. I liked it. And then it didn't really it was supposed to be a surprise twist, but you knew what was going to happen when Jay Farrell was going to go out there and pet the bunny. He was going to get shot. You know something was going to happen to him. It wasn't going to just end like that. But it was pretty cool. I liked it. The couples quiz, I kind of hated it and liked it at the same time. It's like they took it in a different direction than I thought they were going to do. You kind of knew, when they kept talking about the toilet, you just kind of knew where they were going with it. But what I mean is they normally don't do sketches like this. I'm not saying it was brilliant or anything like that. It wasn't just one of these great sketches, but it wasn't, it was like, it was kind of refreshing a little bit, I liked it. Cecily Strong really played her, really played her role in this skit. Jonah Hill did his thing. Moving right along, I don't talk about the music. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not really feeling my review. I don't know. I usually, I don't know. I'm usually more descriptive of the sketches than this for people who are just now, people who are just listening. But if you haven't clicked off it by now, I'm gonna step my game up on this podcast. Let's see what's next. Weekend update. Colin Jost is supposed to be taking Seth Meyers' place, and I haven't done a podcast on that yet, but I definitely am going to definitely speak on it because I got to do that. The jokes were great. Not so great that I'm going to miss Seth. You know what I'm saying? But it was good to a point where I'm actually starting to have faith in Cecily, because the first couple of times she did it, I was like, oh no, because it seemed like she was trying to impersonate Seth Meyers, like she was trying to do it in his voice, and it just wasn't working for her. She needed her own style, and this skit definitely, this part of Weekend Update. This installment of Weekend Update was actually, I don't know, I'm starting to have a little faith in her. But I guess evidently, Lorne Michaels and them don't have that much faith in Cecily because they're adding Colin Jost. Because I was expecting Cecily Strong to do it solo. Because we haven't seen a solo I like to see a solo toy boat. Okay, got it. Cecily Strong, I would love to see like just a straight up, when Tina Fey and Jimmy Fallon were doing it together, I wanted to see Tina Fey do it by herself so bad, man. Like just straight, just her doing it Norm Macdonald style, just because just straight up doing it her, And I felt like Jimmy Fallon was kind of messing up her rhythm because Tina always had the better jokes, in my opinion. Um, and because Cecily, man, it seems like her strong point. Um, is her being in sketches. Now I know Amy Poehler did them both. She was on Weekend Update and did a lot of sketches. But Cecily though, man, she just needs to just focus on sketches because this isn't her. I'm having faith in her because she did perform pretty well in the last two episodes, especially this one. She had some great jokes, but not. I still don't have I wouldn't bet it all on her. Kenan Thompson's bit as the officer that got Justin Bieber, that was funny. And Kenan Thompson, I don't care what any of you guys say. Kenan Thompson in these past 3, maybe 4 seasons, Kenan Thompson has been doing good. He's been doing well. If you don't like Kenan Thompson now, like I said, it's personal. You just don't like him. You just still remembering all that and Nickelodeon and Kenan and Kel and all that. You still got that on. You still have that sour taste in your mouth about that. But I'm just keeping it real. Kenan Thompson he's doing his thing, man. I don't want to see him for another season because they got too many cast members. And this in the intro, man, that thing is so long. That should be a sketch by itself. That's just about as long as a sketch, But Kenan Thompson, man, he's definitely been improving. This bit was great. And Kate McKinnon, her Russian chick character, I laughed so hard the last time she did it. I'm glad she brought it back because it's perfect. I would like to see it in a sketch though. Like a lot of these Weekend Update guys that they just bring out during Weekend Update, I would love to see them write a sketch for stuff like this. Especially like Stefan. I know Bill Hader's no longer in the cast, but I remember they actually did Actually, Stefan was in a sketch first, and it was like one of those like at the last minute sketches, and they kind of bombed. I forgot who hosted, but this is like when Bill Hader first joined the cast, and I don't think nobody remembered it. But then when he started doing it on Weekend Update, that's when people started liking it. I think this is one of those sketches like the Kate McKinnon thing. I would love to see somehow they work this into a skit some kind of way. Kate McKinnon, this is going to be her year. I'm telling you. Everybody got their money on Taran Killam. But I'm telling you, Kate, Bobby, and Kenan. Well, Kenan's just the longest running cast member in this cast right now. He's just pretty much the senior cast member. But I'm telling you, Kate and Bobby is their year. Trust me. Taran Killam, everybody got their money on Taran because you're used to it. Everybody in America is brainwashed. Believe me. You're a tall white guy with a chiseled face. Boom, we automatically say you're the star, even if you're not. And let's face it, Taran, you ain't the star. You know it yourself. You know you'll gladly sign up to be Jay Farrell's sidekick in a skit, and because he does well doing stuff like that. I mean, don't mess up a good thing. Quit trying to make him some kind of dashing guy. He's not that. He's the class clown. He ain't gonna do that. I keep telling you, Taran Killam is the goofy guy that was in your class. He ain't the star quarterback. He's not the smooth guy. He's not that. He's the class clown. That's who Taran Killam is. And you got to keep. That's what. Okay, I don't know why I got on this. I always keep doing this. I talk about one thing and it kind of segues into other things. But yeah, going back to my basic point. Kate McKinnon, yeah, she's great. Anyway, moving right along to the horse skit. It was okay. It was funny. It was stupid funny. I like stupid silly sketches every now and then. And this was stupid and silly. It was the horse kept fighting on him and stuff, and I mean it was so corny that it was kind of funny. It shouldn't be on a best of or anything like that, but it was it's definitely okay, worth looking at. Especially when the thing first kicked. I knew where they were going with this when the horse first kicked Cecily, and I was like, okay, I know what they're about to do. Let's see what happened next. One of the highlights of this episode was the Me commercial, the parody of the movie. Um, Jonah Hill talking to the robot computer thing. Um, that was pretty funny. Michael Cera, when he popped up, I was like, yes, that was a nice cameo. And Michael Cera, that's another guy who I'm surprised hasn't hosted yet. Because he seems like he would be good for. I think during the writer's strike, they went back and did some things at the Upright Citizens Brigade or something like that. And Michael Cera was kind of like the designated host or something. I don't know. I think I read something like that. But Michael Cera, he should definitely. I could see him doing well on SNL. I'm surprised he hasn't. Maybe he was asked to, but it just never. What's that guy that did that played Mark Zuckerberg in that movie? What was the name of that guy? What was his name? I forgot his name. He played in Zombieland or whatever it was. He hosted, but Michael Cera hasn't hosted. What's going on? Get on that. Call me. He could definitely do it. What does he do? Well, I guess it's kind of like the wrong time for him to host though. He should have did that like back in '08 or something. It seems like his star is falling, or his buzz isn't as strong as it used to be. Let's see what else happened. That dinner skit where Jonah Hill kept going back and talking out loud in the bathroom. That seems like something Chris Farley would have did back in the early '90s. And it would have been those cut sketches, one of those sketches you're not gonna see in the reruns. That's what this skit kind of seemed like. It just seemed like some old throwaway Chris Farley type of skit. It was okay, but it was okay. That's the I guess that's the good and bad about a lot of these sketches in this episode. They're just okay. They're not bad, but they're not good. They're not. And I guess you could say that about Jonah Hill actually. Like he's not he's like a young Ben Stiller in my opinion. He's not. But I know a lot of people like Ben Stiller, but Ben Stiller, let's be real. Like he's funny, but he's okay. He's funny. He's just like, he's cool. He's straight. Like I don't know. It's just something about them. It's like they're not like super. Like I don't know. That's how I feel. They're just okay. I'm indifferent about a lot of their performances. Especially Jonah. Like I'm just indifferent, and this is how I feel about this particular episode. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, it's cool. It's cool. I think Aidy Bryant was the funniest thing in that particular dinner sketch when her facial expressions. That was pretty funny, but I don't know. Let's see, Inside SoCal, like man, I'm telling you, I was about to call them the Lonely Island, the Lonely Neighbors. I mean the Good Neighbors. Yeah, that's their names. They've been pretty good. They've been doing pretty well in these sketches. These little digital shorts and things like that. This is one of my favorite ones. Actually, the ice cream one is my favorite one, but this one right here, this was really good. Like the way they were just kind of like their whole just say what's up to the boys, their whole attitude was like we're gonna do some things, man, and we're just chilling and whatnot. You actually meet guys like that. I swear those little. I've met, what's up, guy? Hey, yeah, I'm just kind of doing my thing, man. Yeah, bro, we can have some beers. Doesn't matter, yeah. They played that well. And Mike O'Brien, oh my God, how are you gonna be that whack? How are you gonna be so whack that you have no lines and you still mess up? Like Brooks Wheelan, he didn't have any lines either, but he was like Brooks Wheelan was kind of like staring around and stuff like that, like okay, like that was kind of funny. Mike O'Brien just stood there with his eyes wide open. You can't even do nothing and not be fun. What is wrong? I said I don't know, man. I gotta dedicate a podcast to Mike O'Brien. This is no good. He can't get away with this. I'm glad they gave Taran Killam that speaking part, because like Mike O'Brien, he would have, or Brooks Wheelan, they would have messed that up. Yeah, Taran Killam, he nailed it. But really, where I really laughed, what was really funny about this skit was Bobby Moynihan coming out as the dad, and he just came, the way he came out, and he's like, what's this? A what? A what? Y'all get out of here. Like that was just, like, that was, and he just walked up stage. That was classic. I rewind that part. I said, let me listen to that again. What? A what? A what? Okay, y'all get out of here. It was perfect, man. I really like seeing it. Bobby Moynihan, Kate McKinnon, and Kenan Thompson, man. This is their year, for real. Again, I said I don't judge the music. That what happened next. The Lamborghini skit, that was this is my favorite recurring character out of all the things they've been doing recently and lately. About the dang, man, I need to be in that Gleiss commercial, that Gleiss skit. Dang, I keep messing up these words. Why am I doing a podcast if I can't talk? Anyway, yeah. The Lamborghini skit, it was funny. I love these things, man. The lines that Vanessa Bayer, Cecily Strong keep saying, the lines that they keep having, they just keep getting more outrageous and more funny as they go. Like Vanessa almost choked and laughed over her lines. These things are hilarious, man. Like there's kind of like those Stefan kind of skits where it's like everything they say just keeps getting more and more outrageous. I'm definitely a fan of these sketches, man. I definitely want to see them keep doing it. Jonah Hill did his thing in it too, as Martin Pornsese. Yeah, he played that well. I'm definitely feeling it. I want to see them do it again. Okay, now let's recap. Jonah Hill was okay. The whole episode was okay. It wasn't bad. Wasn't good. It was just okay. Like, okay. That was okay. It was okay. Again, I want to give another shout out to Vibes Live. Check them out at www.vibeslive.com. What else? Do I have anything else I want to say? No, I guess that's it. I talked for this long. It's too much. All right, that's all I like to say. I'm just some guy named Jay, and that's news to me.